So this is the camera that I'm using to create a lot of these images. It's a Century 2 Kodak 8x10 camera. It's probably 70 or 80 years old. So I'm using a gas Chardonnay lens that's a French build, and it's probably around 140 years old. The emulsion that we're making and pouring onto these plates is pretty slow. It would take a long time under this light to create an exposure. But with these strobes, I'm forcing about 4,500 watt seconds of UV balanced light at my subject, and so my exposure is instantaneous. This is a piece of trophy aluminum, and it's anodized black, and it comes with this really nice plastic coating, which once you peel it off, reveals a perfectly clean surface that will accept the collodion in combination with cadmium bromide, some iodines. That's why we're doing this outside, so we have lots of ventilation. And this is the kind of medium that's going to accept the silver nitrate. And this is my bath of silver nitrate. It's been about 3 minutes, and we'll see how our plate is doing. Let the excess silver drain off. Wipe off the excess, at least off the back. It's called wet plate, this process, because the plate has to remain wet throughout the whole process. So we have about a 10-minute window now to go expose the plate, come back, and start the development. Here we go. All right. We've got the exposure, and you can relax. Ferrous sulfate developer. It's basically iron fertilizer and glacial acetic acid, or just a really acidic medium. You just kind of flood the plate here and let the surface tension of the solution keep the developer on the plate. And that's something that's also kind of amazing about them. You know, there's this immediate gratification after the alchemy, you know, after being run through a fairly easy and forgiving chemical process. I mean, if you think about these itinerant photographers out on the land making these images, the process had to be really forgiving in order for it to be as useful and successful as it was. So I'm introducing it into the fix here. And this is where the magic happens. This is a response in some ways to Curtis's opus, The North American Indian. He did this amazing project. He tried to capture native North America with the idea that sudden kind of economic, political, cultural change was happening. So the emulsion is particularly sensitive to UV, to blue light. And because of that, people who have red in their skin don't resolve as well. I think that the people that Curtis photographed were, just in terms of skin tone, a few stops lighter than they actually appear. I think though overall it's also about trying to bring back the magic, the intimacy of the studio portrait process, and sharing with people this amazing historic technology and you know, really the alchemy that's involved in producing these images. It's as much as about the process that got to the object as it is about the actual object.